Mic check, mic check. Hello, hello. Mic check, mic check, mic check. 1, 2. There we go. All right. What's going on, chat? Oh. Deactivate. Activate. Hope everyone's doing well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Let's turn the music down. Just get a nice little background music going. It is Friday night. Welcome on in. You know, that means we're going to be tying some flies. And I got the swim tank set up as well. So we could throw a fly in there. In fact, let's just go ahead and throw one in there to start with, I think. Just so we got something in the background. Got this beautiful fly here. That's the next fly, that next video is coming out tomorrow. The Murdich Minnow, I believe it's called. Hey, Lobbits Outdoors. How's it going? And Doc, I saw we had Doc in here on Twitch. How you doing, Doc? Wait, where's my chat docs? There we go. Or chat doc. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and put this in the tank. I have some 30-pound here we'll use. And this is the fly that we're covering on tomorrow's video. Very interesting fly as well. We also have a easy body shrimp tutorial that'll be coming out. It'll probably be like Monday or Tuesday. We'll see. I'm gonna edit that probably tomorrow, maybe tonight. Tonight I need to paint a a Conflict 47 mini for tomorrow's game. So I primed it yesterday. I still haven't airbrushed it or done any detail. So I need to do that after the stream because we're recording a video for my second channel tomorrow. All right, let me just move my mic. Stick this like this. Put the fly in the tank, get a little action back there for you. Just put the fly in the tank, get a little action back there for you guys. Let's take a look at it real quick, shall we? I probably need to get it sitting a little better. It probably has to do with this right here. The thing was swimming absolutely perfect. Oh, I see the EP fibers fouled. Okay. Let's fix that real quick. It's because I just threw it in there. There we go. Perfect. Let's get a little zoom in. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So we're also trying out vertical streaming for the first time on YouTube because it allows me to both stream horizontally and vertically. So if there's any vertical watchers in the shorts feed, what's up? Welcome. I'm trying to figure out where it wants the center for the vertical. So we need to make sure that the tying looks okay for when we're in vertical setup. I thought you had it tied to swim on its side. No, the whole idea about this fly is that it's supposed to swim. It's like a neutral buoyant fly in terms of how it's supposed to swim and everything. It's a very interesting fly. But we're going to be focusing on tying some stuff today. So we want the vise nice and center. So we'll get the camera set up because I'm thinking now not only about the horizontal stream look, but also the vertical. So It kind of changes everything up for me here. Make sure it's looking good. Yo, what's going on, Ice Reaper? How's it going? All right. So I figured we could try and tie some of these, but in some different sizes. And one of the main things is I want to tie some various flies today because I want to, I like tying them live on stream sometimes, different flies, if I'm not as familiar with them, so that way we can get some experience with them before recording a video on them or something. So, what's going on, Ice Reaper? By the way, we just put out a Warhammer 40K battle report on Mike Rolls Dice, and it's the lowest viewed performing video on my channel. So, go watch it, Ice Reaper, all right? I spent 3 days making it. Blood Angels vs. Guard. Sound effects from Space Marine 2. I went in and recorded. I did Blood Angels voices with voice changer and everything. And it's gotten less views than like any other video I've made on that channel. So clearly people want to watch conflict. All right, so I have some different materials here and some different colors. Let's go ahead and get some different colors of EP fiber here, because this is going to be like the one of the deciding factors right here. Yeah, Mike Rolls Dice, one word. In fact, I'll throw a link in the channel or in the chat. Uno momento. I'll just put a link to the video in the chat. How about that? Give me 1 sec. Hold on, I want to make sure you guys don't pause that. Share, copy. There you go. Go give it a watch if you guys like Warhammer. I spent 3 days making that video. Usually it takes me 2 days to make a conflict battle report. This one took me like 3.5, and it got almost no views, so we're probably sticking a conflict on the channel. The people voted with their views, and I respect that. Okay. So we got some different materials here. We're going to be using bucktail. I think let's do one in tan, because I do have colors for this in tan. So I got some tan bucktail. We got EP fiber in tan right here, which we'll be using. And we need crystallistaz. So tan crystallistaz. I should have some. I got orange. Real quick, I gotta find. Let's take a look. I'll put you guys on the swim tank in the meanwhile. So you guys can check out the fly at least. I got brown. I know for sure I have tan, so that's just what I'm looking for. I also have some root beer. We could always use root beer. But I'm almost certain I do have some tan here somewhere. I'll take a second to look. No harm. We got some sort of browns. I also have blues. We could do a blue color. But we'll probably tie a couple of these. So let's just grab some root beer or something. We'll use that. Is there anything else I'm missing? No, not necessarily, right? It's just bucktail, flash. Oh, we need flash. Well, I have a decent amount of flash here already. So we'll grab some of this. I cut out a bunch of crystal flash in the past, so we'll use that. And then I have flash boot. So we're good to go. You'd like to see a danger muffin. Now, who is coming up with these names? Come on. Danger muffin. Let's take a look. Danger muffin crab fly? Is that what we're talking about? Well, this looks like we need all sorts of materials. Real quick, I'm going to unplug something. You guys are going to hear boop, boop, boop. In fact, I guess I could mute it. Yeah, let me mute it. Just mute it. All right. Let's see. Is this right? I still need to deactivate and reactivate it. Man, that's annoying. Okay. Is this what we're talking about here? Whew. Well, it looks like we need felt. We need all sorts of stuff for this. So this is something that I would need to order some materials for sure. It looks like felt. Oh. It looks like felt arms. Possibly a felt belly on the bottom, it looks like. And spun deer hair up top. So, and these are pieces of chenille. Yeah, I could probably do something like this. We're not going to do it today. I guess I need to order arms or something, or I guess because you can't really cut these yourself, right? No, it's not pipe cleaner. It's pieces of chenille is what it's called. Yeah, use chenille. You've seen me do this in the past where we cut thin chenille and then I burn it with a lighter. Okay, I'll write it down. It's a really sick looking fly. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun to tie. Doug McKnight's. I'm just writing this down real quick. Danger muffin crab fly. All right, cool. All right. I'll put it on the list. I got to order some materials for it, but it looks like it'll be a fun video. It's too bad AC Fishing just picked up all of his tarpon and bonefish and crab flies and shrimp flies. That would have been a fun one to give him. All right. So, we are going to be using some Mustad 34007s. Let's get back on the vise here. Move the materials off to the side. I gotta think about what the vertical stream looks like. Which, the vertical stream is a little like super cropped. So I gotta make sure I keep the vise in focus. But we're gonna be using these, let's see here. The Mustad 34007 SS's. So, it's just a classic streamer hook. Ideally, you want a streamer hook that's heavy enough to keel the fly. So we might end up actually adding a little lead wire to this, possibly. How are we looking here? There we go. Should be good. In fact, we'll get it in. Let's zoom in a little too. There we go. Okay. That should be good. We shall find out. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I want to go back and see what the quality looks like. But YouTube's like, hey, you want to stream both vertical and horizontal? Yeah, sure. How's the stream looking, chat? If you're watching in horizontal, does it still look good? It's not like causing the regular stream to lose any quality because it's like rebroadcasting it or something. And if anyone's watching on shorts, first off, welcome on the shorts feed. But how does it look? Let me know. Okay. So we got our hook set up. I got some flash here. We're going to take some bucktail. And now this fly in this size, before we even do anything, we should take some lead wire here. I have some very thin lead wire here, 0.010, I believe. I bought this a long time ago. It's half a pound of some lead wire, but... Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Gene. It was a good recommendation. For sure. It reminds me of some other flies that were in Lefty Kray's book back in the day. But something to, I mean, they didn't, I'm assuming they didn't have this sort of suspension or the suspending quality. This fly is very interesting when you think about how the EP fiber adds that buoyancy to the fly. We were talking about this recently when we were tying flies with EP fiber, right? And talking about how good they are for like tarpon fishing and stuff. They'll land quietly and softly. They don't sink very quickly at times when you're fishing in shallow water. What's going on, Cacklin? How's it going? Almost called you Cracklin, but video quality is better on the YT. Yeah. Well, that's just partially due to the way that YouTube works and how their bitrate is. But we can't speak too much about the red platform, otherwise the purple one will get mad. So we'll grab some, what do you... I love to throw shade at Twitch while streaming on it. It's a pastime here on this channel. At this point. You know what I mean? It's like just a classic good old time. I'm trying to find some nice lawn bucktail without... that actually is not terrible quality, which I don't really have a ton of it, to be honest with you, but I guess we'll use some of this. The bucktail quality has been really going downhill nowadays. Clint? Oh, nice to meet you, Clint. We're glad to have you in here. What sort of, do you fly tie yourself? I'll try and remember. If not, I'll resort to cackling. And picture you sitting there laughing hysterically. Not a term we use too often. We should use it more, cackling. I guess it's more of like a, you would use it as like, I don't know. How often do you cackle, chat? If only the red ones had marbles. Good point. I'm going to turn my vise a little so we can get a little bit more of a side angle going here. Make sure the vise is still in focus. And we're going to take some tan bucktail here. Unfortunately, I don't have very good tan bucktail, so this is a great time to probably use some saddle hackle to outsource the length. You know what I mean? Oh, you tie crappie jigs? Very cool. We've had a few folks that are more like jig tires. And I know crappie jigs are very popular. I know it seems like it's pretty popular for people to tie their own crappie jigs, which I love to hear as a fly tyer. Because there's no better way of catching fish than on something you made yourself. Yo, what's going on, Tito? How you doing? So we're just going to take our bucktail here, and we are going to wrap this in, keeping it on the lead wire. Now, the reason I added lead wire to this specific fly is normally we don't need to with something like this fly in the background. If we can just give you a quick little zoom. The whole reason, you need the fly to keel properly, so we want the fly to be swimming vertically and not on its side. And with a heavy enough hook, it'll keel itself naturally and keel it like a sailboat where the weight's on the bottom. And the whole thing is, because we're adding this EP fiber and various materials like that, it may not swim properly if the hook is too light. So by adding some lead wire to this smaller, thinner wire Mustad 34007, I'm just going to call it the 007, it'll ensure that it'll keel properly. And we can still have a nice profile and all that. Yeah, tan's rough. I mean, sometimes I get some good tan. The black is terrible, and this is what we've learned over the years in talking to people at fly tying companies and like materials, because I do this for a living commercially, fly tying, is that with black material like bucktail and stuff, they take the worst bucktails they can and they dye it black because it's much darker, and they think, well, because it's like the darker, you're going to see less of the flaws in it or whatever. They're just like, oh, take the shitty ones and dye them black. That's pretty much how it works. Pardon my French, but... so let's go ahead and take some hackle. And I'm going to go with some wider hackle on this one, I think. We're going to go with some grizzly here. Some nice grizzly hackle. We could find one that'll work for us. Now, this is a smaller fly, so we don't need massive hackle here, or very long hackle in general. So I'm just going to take some of these here, and we're going to go ahead and just tent them. And I want them to be nice and skinny and thin, because this is where we're getting a lot of the action in the tail. Now, there's also going to be a lot of flash. So let's start off. I almost forgot. We do need a copious amount of crystal flash for this fly. You can see our crystal flash here, just classic material. I do have some tan and some what. I have so much of this cut. I don't care if it's pearl versus tan, this and that. It's fine. If you want to match the colors and do that, you can. This will work just fine. And you essentially have like a very long flash tail off the back of this fly is how it works. I also don't want it to be too tapered in the rear, even though I don't mind it to be in a little... I don't mind some variance in length on the ends here. Talking of bucktail, I've seen some guy post the other day about premium bucktail, and I tell you, there's nothing premium about these tails and price he wanted. Yeah, that's the thing you got to watch out for, too. The person I recommend is Brad Buzzy. He's been doing it for, I mean, I don't even know, longer than I've been commercially tying. Probably about as long as I've been fly tying. I think he's been doing buzzfly. I could be wrong. But if you haven't, check out buzzfly.com. He hand dyes all of his own bucktails, and he's been doing it for a very long time. I know there's some other dudes, probably some younger dudes that are in the game doing it as well. Like, there's a lot of musky guys that tie big flies with bucktail. So there's some various people that sell bucktails, and we've had a couple... I forgot what company or what somebody told me. There was one person that apparently is doing it. Wait, you couldn't find Buzzfly? Let me see. Can we find it? Buzzfly. Brad Buzzy. Oh, dude, you know, maybe he doesn't have a website anymore. Because this is him right here. Interesting. There's no way to contact him, huh? Maybe he's not doing it anymore. He used to have a, I think this is the other people. This is the other guys they told me about. Yeah, right here. These guys also apparently do really sick bucktails. I've had... I think this is the guy, if I'm not wrong. Hi, guys. Flyco? I could be wrong. But this might be the dude that Predator Prey Flies uses. Let me see. Predator Prey Flies. Instagram. Here. This dude, he's really cool. I met him this year. And I'm pretty certain he uses... Hi Guys Fly Co. Bucktail. And as you could see... fuck, I don't even remember how to pronounce his name properly. Let's see if I can do it. Masa Miliano? I don't even remember. I don't think I was. I don't even remember. I asked him what his nickname was or something. But I took him. I took this dude cinderworm fishing with me this year, and he ties amazing flies, as you can see, like beautiful, beautiful hollow flies and bucktail flies. So I'm pretty certain he recommended them to me, but I could be wrong. So, but yeah, that's strange. Brad Buzzy used to have a website. He used to come into the stream every once in a while. I say Brad because he's had the highest quality bucktails that I've known, and he's been doing it for ever since I was like a kid, pretty much. Yep. I'm almost certain. I gotta ask Predator Prey Flies. Milano. I gotta ask him how to say his name, dude. But I'm pretty certain that was them. He told me, he's like, dude, these guys are great. The price are good. So if that's who that is, then that sounds like that's about right. By the way, we use a lot of crystal flash on this fly. How long do we want this fly to be? That's about right. You kind of want some length with this fly, right? And that's one of the hardest things, is getting good quality bucktail regularly, right? It's one thing to tie some smaller flies like this or something, right? But for instance, the tail that I used to use, that it wasn't even the best quality, but it's even hard just to find good length, like 4 to 5 inch long bucktail on a fly nowadays. All right, so now we're going to take some hackle and put this on top, and we're going to tent it. Do a couple loose wraps, like so. And by the way, if you have any flies or any jigs you want to show off, feel free to post them in the Discord, and we're going to take a look at the Discord here later. We do it every week. We take a look at the Discord and see what flies and stuff and fishing stuff people have been posting. The high guy sick a lot, but he gets his orders out as soon as possible. Okay. Material and colors for the hackle is 11 out of 10. Flash was a little rigid for me, but the amount you get is wild. Still looks great. All right, I'm going to have to possibly order a couple bucktails then. They're like the hen's teeth this side of the pond. He's referring to Ireland, by the way, for anyone that's not familiar with our resident Irish fly tire dock. And they're getting 30 euros a tail. Oh my God, I need a sound effect for that. Boo! Why don't you just come over here in October? We'll get you a hunting license from out of state, and we'll just go shoot a bunch of does during shotgun season. It'll be cheaper. Oh my God. The audacity. Well, I guess you don't have whitetails over in Europe, right? But so I'm guessing they're importing all of the bucktails. It's the problem. Your deer over there, you got those little miniature French deer. I've seen them. Not like our majestic whitetails. What are they called? Road deer? Yeah. I remember watching, because I traditional bow hunted for many years. I still technically am a traditional bow hunter. I just haven't bow hunted in years. But some French dudes traditional bow hunting for roe deer in France, in like Brittany or somewhere. It was really cool. But petite little deer, with tiny tails probably, not the same sort of hair. We're going to cut some EP fiber off here and tie this on. Now, ideally, we kind of want it to be like that long, so just going to cut some off here. And we need to restore our tunes, because it's Friday. We need the vibes. We got the White Claws flowing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Craggerroll, you've been watching for how many years? Did you... How have you been watching for this many years? And I've literally talked about Doc being Irish all the time, because it's just like a meme at this point. Even though he is very much so Irish. He actually ties a lot of flies for like shops and stuff in Ireland and places, so he's our hotshot Euro tire. Okay, you just wanted to be sure. You've heard me say that before, right? You're not trolling, like. So we're just gonna take this EP and tie it right in front, and it's a pretty healthy dose. Now, if you took this, let's say you were trying to tie something like like a flat wing, let's say, right? And whatever. Let's say you were trying to tie something that you wanted it to sink evenly or sink rapidly. Like, this is not the sort of thing you would do. This sort of material definitely affects the way that the material sinks. Probably not only due to the like water resistance, but also the material itself. But this will, in fact, help create some buoyancy in the fly. So normally it would be like, oh, this is like too much material I'm putting on here, almost. But we're only putting it in this one spot. Oh, wait. I skipped a step. Hold on, my bad. We need even more flash. So when you're developing a fly like this, what do you think to yourself? I just put in about 80 pieces of crystal flash. How about we put even more flash on it? So that's what we're going to do. I've been on a Surf Candy kick. What's your favorite hook? Gamakatsu SL12S's or Mustad? The old C70SD big games, which they don't sell anymore. But this hook right here. Big game hooks. Nice gap for your UV resin. Extremely strong. And super premium. But Mustad used to make a hook just like this. In a nice silver finish. A like stainless finish or a tin finish. Whatever it was. But no, this is a regular size SL12S. This is not the shorts. The SL12S 1X is the short or something, I want to say. This is the SL12S is their big game hook, the regular big game hook. And if you're you can get those 100 boxes from saltwaterflies.com because they're not available from many other places online. In fact, almost possibly, I don't even know if there is a place you can get them other than saltwaterflies.com in 100 size. Shout out to Chris at saltwaterflies.com. So, all right, let's get some flash. I'll show you real quick just for fun. The tote of flash. So you can get an idea of what I'm working with here. Just filled to the brim. So let me see what I got. I don't know if I have any tan. Flashaboo. So what's a good color Flashaboo that would work? I have gold. Yeah, let's use gold. That'll work good. Now, this is a lesson in buying. This was like 18-inch Flashaboo. What a freaking waste. They're 12-inch. It's so ridiculously long. Look at this stuff. And it was impossible to manage once it fell out of the zip tie. So we're going to take it, fold it in half multiple times because we don't need it to be this long. We'll take all the shorter ones out. Size 1 odd or 1, size 1 or 1 odd. Yeah, I mean, I'll go anything from a size 4 Surf Candy all the way up to a size 2 odd if I'm tying larger rabbit ones. Personally. So we're going to wrap this here. Like so. So if you're thinking, man, this fly did not have enough flash. Wrong. More flash. Need even more. And we're going to tie this here. Just retrim this to make it neat. Now, see, we don't want to cut this right here. This is very important, by the way, as well. Because what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back on top. Which is pretty interesting. This would be a nice smallmouth color, I think. The way we're going to do it here. I have 7 with me, and I'll be running around all over Ireland for 4 days. Oh, dude. Not to pressure Doc, because you never know. Craggerroll might show up wearing assless chaps. We've been over this. But, could be cool. Everybody's worst fear. One landlord always used to joke, say some dumb shit like that. That's why I... That's what comes to mind when some random person showing up at your house. What would you do if this guy showed up at your house wearing assless chaps? I'm like, Tommy, I'm just here to drop off my check, alright? I'm just here to drop off rent for the month, alright? I'm going home. He had his other fishing, there were 2 fishing guides. He had his other fishing guide friend here. What would you do if this guy showed up wearing assless chaps to your house? I'm like, alright, I'll see you guys later. You always bring your chaps with you when you go? Yeah, perfect. Amen, brother. I always bring my chaps everywhere I go. So, let's see. This is 30 mil. This is grande. Honestly, this is going to be too big. So we do need a more medium or appropriate. I'd say this is the like regular size chenille. So we use this. The other side is just too big, too grande. So we got our flash, we got that. We're looking good. We're gonna take some super glue here. So first off, is anyone tying anything tonight? If so, what are you guys whipping up? Second off, what's everyone doing for the weekend? Tomorrow I got my buddy Rev coming over. Shout out Rev, YouTube legend. YouTube chat member legend. We're going to be filming a game of Conflict. For Mike Rolls Dice. And I got to work on the next fly tying video. Let's back this off, actually. I want to make sure this gets far enough back, so we'll start off even further. And then we'll wrap forward, yeah. I mean, I guess maybe we could use the grande, but this looks fine. Trying to think, what way could I get a nicer... I wish I had like a little bit... I'm tempted to put my own spin on this fly. Like, should we add another collar, or should we do some... I kind of want like the body to not, you know, the estaz, the way the estaz ends, it kind of ends right around here. Kind of wish it... I guess longer estaz could work. I wish we had longer estaz in the rear, shorter estaz up front. The estaz naturally tapered. Now that would be perfect. That would be the ideal way to do it. Semper flies and eelies? What is that? Flies that you want to see? Oh, that's what you're tying tonight? Very cool, Calvin. Very nice. I like it. I like it. Let's see. I'm sure we have some 3D eyes to put on here. I mean, so here's the thing. If I was fishing for smallmouth, I probably wouldn't even put eyes on here, but... Or striped bass in general, but... Making your own brush with a dubbing loop to get the extra length. Yeah, you could do that, for sure. I still need to get a dubbing loop tool. I don't have one. I know Cragger's like, just take like a paper clip or something you were telling me, but I feel like I should just get one. Especially if we're going to be doing videos with it, you know what I mean? So I should probably just buy one. Let's grab a... What do you call it? Gonna need to vacuum after the stream, but let's grab some eyes, shall we? What size eyes? That kind of looks like that'll work. Yeah, sure. It's fine with me. Stenofo one is great. Nothing like a good old Italian piece of fly tying tool. I have a Stenofo bobbin that broke apart. I still keep it around because I spent so much money on it. Italy, Stenofo, but I don't know. I forgot what happened. It just completely fell apart. I think the top part, there was like a thing that went on top or something. But this is all I have now. It looks cool. Maybe we can do something with it one day. I don't know what, but I do have a Stenofo piece. I found it in my basement. I was like, I should just hang on to this. But shout out to Right Bobbin. Make it a little squiggly on you. But that thing ain't falling apart. But I'll take a look at the Sonofos, the dubbing tool one. For sure. Let's just clean up the desk chat. And not take too long, because Eric was like, or Rev was like, you gotta stop having dead space on the screen. And you're right. Crab flies, if you can, make a video with the Easy Body. We are doing that today, Anathasio. I believe you asked for it. Somebody asked for the Easy Body crab fly. We talked about it. And I said I would do it this week, and then I completely forgot till I started the stream. And I haven't done any research, so we're going to do it together. And I don't think I've ever even tied one of these, to be honest with you. Because I'm an old school guy, you know. I like my 90s fly tying, but we're going to give it a try, because we do have some clear flex Easy Body. And we'll try. Small bit of metal putty should fix that. I just don't know where the top is. I think I have it somewhere, but it's the dangerous thing about squeezing an E6000 tube is once this stuff starts, it does not stop. So you got to be careful. There we go. It's got a mind of its own, this stuff. It's like a some sort of science fiction alien entity that will never stop. It always persists. You see, it just like once it's like, all right, use it and then put the damn cap on, because it's got a mind of its own, this stuff. Also, just trying not to get it all over my fingers as usual. But it does work good, so I'll put up with it. Works very good, especially for an application like this. Now, if you can kind of push it back one way, and it might suck it back in, but whatever. Just wipe it off and cap it. It's got a mind of its own, this stuff. I think I have the top of the bobbin somewhere. I have really big E6000 and use the bodkin to poke at it and use it like that. I wouldn't dare to squeeze it. Yeah, I know. I go through these pretty often. Like, that tube will last me probably like... it's probably like 200 kinky muddlers, give or take, right? And the thing is, though, like, I'm gluing... What I do is I tie them all, and then I glue all the eyes at once. So, like, I'm not trying to put the cap on, this and that. I just have the cap off, and I have all the eyes peeled off, and I take each fly, and I'm, like, speed doing it. Like, boop, 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 boop. You know what I mean? But that's probably not a bad idea. But I also don't try and squeeze it. I just try and wiggle the top of it a little, just to get a little bit coming out. But that, you know, I'm not always good at it, so. But I like to live my life on the edge. Call me Danger. Or Powers, Austin Powers. Alright. There we go. A little Murdich minnow. Nice and simple. See the flash on there. So we're going to let this dry for a while. In fact, I mean, I probably shouldn't stick this in the tank for a bit, but we could take a look. I mean, I already have one in the tank. This is just a different size, but... Well, the only reason is because I don't have to work for someone else, and I can make just enough money to pay my bills. And that's that. But yeah, it's the main thing is that I can work from home and I don't need to have someone yell at me. That's the main motivation, to where I start losing my mind tying the 700th surf candy, but then I take a breath, hit the hookah lounge. You know, I can always take a break for a couple hours and go fishing, and then come back and tie for another 6 if I need to, right, or something. During the winter, it gets a little bit harder, but, you know, I guess it's what we got. Maybe a good old magic draft for or something, you know? Yeah, it's nice colors. I wish I had the tan, but I figured the root beer probably would work just as well with that sort of coloration as well. But I almost wish we went with grande for the rear and then smaller for the front. But we have some other colors as well we can use. Let's just, if you ever have some flash boo that's giving you a hard time, just stretch it, because it is a stretchy material, and if it's ever kind of crinkly, you can actually pull on it and get a lot of the imperfections out. Let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, we can take a look at the one in the tank. You can see it is a fly that kind of, it has just enough weight to where it will sink and it won't float, right? But it has enough buoyancy to it that, let's say you're using it with a sinking line and you're using a Lawner leader, for instance. This fly, theoretically, you can strip it up and then have the line sink, and you can pause it. It'll kind of do like some twitches and stuff. It'll probably suspend like with an intermediate line. It's not going to sink instantly and like drag on the bottom. But the whole idea is that like the neutral the buoyancy neutral thing is that instead of having it sink, like let's say you got a smallmouth bass or a largemouth bass looking at this thing, it's following it. You pause the fly and the fly just nosedives like this. Not many things will do that. A lot of times fish will just pause and stay still. So this fly, when you strip it and do that, if you're not using a sinking line, for instance, or like a very fast sinking intermediate, and it's just kind of level, like a level fly line, it'll essentially kind of suspend where it is, right? And I guess the same thing could be said with a sinking line, just a Lawner leader. But as opposed to a heavier fly that'll nosedive down when you pause it, or have a jigging motion like a clouser. And there's two different things, right? A jigging motion is fantastic. Think about one of the greatest smallmouth bass flies of all time is a clouser minnow. That's what it was developed for. But there's also times where that may turn off a fish, right? That may be a unnatural presentation that sometimes, you know, will enact a strike, but may turn a fish off if they're in a particular feeding habit or something like that, right? So that's kind of interesting, reading up on the fly. And just, you know, this is something that over time as a fly tire, when you're tying a fly, you can kind of in your mind be like, okay, like why would this fly be neutrally buoyant, for instance? Because if you took this fly and just tied bucktail off the back with flash, and you put you put a staz on the head, you essentially just have a regular streamer fly. So really what I think is the addition of that big bunch of EP fiber in the rear is really what is causing that buoyancy. So this is just stuff that as you tie the fly, you can think about, like, what's the why did the designer of this fly, Bill Murdich, I believe is how you say his name, and I believe it's Bill, why did he put this material in the places that he did, right? The other thing is this flash sticking off the front that we folded back. That also is very interesting here. It changes the profile of the fly, and it's sitting on top of that veil of EP fiber, which is not only, you know, causing that flash on top to kind of get some action, but one thing you got to think about with a fly like this, it's not as evident as something like a kinky muddler, where it's got a much larger head, right? But with a fly with a head like this, and more so, I think almost that EP fiber, is that it's causing this larger area, right? Just think of like at the front of the head here, it's pretty big, right? Let's just say, as opposed to like a smaller surf candy, whatever it may be, where it's streamlined. What happens is, as the water flows out of this pump or a current while you're stripping it, it's going to hit the head. And what's going to happen is it's not just going to flow right over the fly. It's going to hit the head and then do this sort of vertices pattern. It's like the same thing with cars and how aerodynamics work and spoilers. What happens is the water hits the head and then kind of does like this sort of circular motion, and it causes this action in the rear because you get this water that's being pushed up into the tail, and you get this sort of fluttering action. So that's one of the reasons why you see like flies with thin tails or nice tapered tails, and they have these bigger heads or these areas where the water will flow over it, causing this action. Because I'll tell you right now, if you did take this fly and we just tied it almost kind of like a flat wing, it would probably have less action in the tail overall like this. It would still have action, but I don't think you would get as much movement. And that's being caused by that water being disturbed as it flows over it. So that's something you got to think about when you're tying flies. You got to think to yourself, why did somebody design this the way they did? Why are they putting this material here at this point, right? And it's interesting how this material, if we look on the fly that we just tied, it's interesting how this bunch is made, or this bunch of EP is like positioned kind of almost center, but almost more so in the rear of the fly. Like, that's a very interesting design. If you take this EP fiber and you move it anywhere else on the hook shank, it'll definitely change the way this fly is going to swim. So, I don't know, it's something to think about. I was thinking about this yesterday while filming it. I'm like, why is this supposedly some sort of neutrally buoyant fly? All right, let's see, whatever. But as I was tying it, I'm like, okay, this is like a lot of EP fiber we're putting back here. And I'm like, okay, this makes sense. This is where we're getting that sort of to counteract. Because normally a fly would sink at an even rate, right? You know, with a heavy enough wire to it. Now, I did add some lead to this, but that's because for the size fly and this size 1 mustad, even though this is an appropriately sized hook for a fly this size, I would say, for like a 3-inch fly, this is perfectly fine. Maybe a 1-odd could be, you could argue, would be a better hook size for this. But is that because of the EP fiber, the crystal flash, that's where I'm worrying about this fly not tracking properly. So this is where adding that lead keel comes into play and wrapping that lead wire around the hook. So, what's going on, Frosty? How you doing, dude? Hope you're doing well. All right. Yo, Sabin, what's up? Sabin 200. Weren't you already watching the channel? I remember Sabin. Oh, did you make a new account or something? Or did Twitch unfollow you or something? Or are you a completely different Sabin? All right. Easy body crab fly. So we're going to essentially tie like an Alflexo style crab fly. But it is an easy body. But that sort of crab fly style is what we're doing. I have some different sizes and different colors. We are probably going to take a quick break here soon. I am just going to grab another drink and maybe use the restroom real quick, because we're going to be streaming for a while tonight. And we got to make sure we take our hookah lounge break every once in a while. It's part of our union terms. So, doing good. How we doing? We're doing all right. Doing all right. We're tying as usual. Now, I'm curious, is anyone watching in the vertical stream on YouTube? YouTube allows me to stream vertically and horizontally at the same time. So I'm curious if we end up actually getting a good amount of people watching there. But so I could really shill and say, if you're watching on YouTube, like the video so that way YouTube recommends it, because that's a super important thing. But I'm not going to do that. I'll just mention it while not doing it. Wink, wink. You know what I'm talking about? All right. Easy body crab. So we're essentially going to take this and kind of tie it like this, and then stick some legs through it and all that. So it's quite a simple fly in reality. One thing we need to think about is we're going to be sticking like legs through there. right? We're going to be having eyes sticking through there. So I need to think about this. And maybe let's talk about this before we do it. Am I going to be tying this on the hook and then weaving it through, like pulling it through? That almost doesn't seem like it makes sense. But that seems like that would be the most secure way of tying it. The other way would just be sticking stuff in there, but then it's just going to end up falling out. So I'm assuming I need to tie everything in and then kind of pull it through. Is that how that works? Because I've never tied one of these personally, so we're going to figure it out together. We're going to need rubber legs. We're going to need monofilament. So let's see. We got mono for crab eyes. Oh, okay, gotcha, Saban. All I remember was your name, so I'm glad that you're back is all. No worries. I was just like, I remember that name. So we got the easy body, we got the mono, rubber legs, and crab legs. I do have pre-made crab legs, and we'll probably use them here because this seems like a fun fly for it. I don't want to use all of them because I would love to use some for a video. But I could always buy more, I guess. It's just, look, we're working on a budget around here, all right? I do have some rubber legs as well, though. So what sort of colors? It would be more like a sand color, perhaps, because this is a clear tubing. Yeah. We got some nice rubber legs as well. Pull it through with a bobbin threader. Aw, man, you know I ain't got no bobbin threaders around here. We'll shimmy, we'll figure it out. Bobbin threaders? First off, we don't do no bobbin threading around here. Alright? You know what we do around here? Bobbin sucking. That's right. I mean, come on, bro. We even got the bobbin sucking emote. You think I own a goddamn threader? I don't. I probably lost it the first day I got one. Alright? We don't do no... And for all you folks on YouTube, you're not seeing it. I have an emote on Twitch that I lost in long ago. But it's me sucking on a bobbin. Alright? So it added more comedic effect if you were watching on Twitch. But that's okay. Maybe we'll have to recreate it for YouTube because we do have emotes on YouTube now. Like the Albie skirt is one. But okay, I think we got everything. Let's just figure out the hook. What sort of hook we're going to be using for this seems pretty important, huh? Yeah. That is a good question. Because you need enough length to the hook for it to actually be a crab fly, huh? And I don't have a ton of hooks that are possibly suitable. Let's see. Is it a tarpon hook? I guess, I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We got tarpon hooks. We do have some standard style streamer hooks we could use. So I guess we'll figure that out when we get back. That being said, let's see. We got the swim tank. We got, let's see, you know what? It's perfect time than ever, I guess. We usually play the Albie highlight. But it's been a while. I know we've started bringing the swim tank back after popular demand and requests. So what we're going to do is I'll take a quick break. I'm going to go run and grab a drink real quick. And now's a good time, Chad. If you've been sitting around for a while, you know, you've been hanging out. I don't blame you. It's Friday night. Maybe you've been working all day. But if you have been, maybe it's a good time. Stand up, you know, grab a drink, stretch out a little bit. Get the blood moving in your legs, you know, all that. A little posture check. All that fun stuff. And we'll put some tunes on to accompany this. And yeah. DIY threader. Have you got a paperclip? Yes, I do. Sure. Sounds good to me. I was going to say we could figure it out. I'm sure. I'll grab a paperclip, all right? And we will be back in uno momento, por favor. Let's change it. Let's get this one. All right, chat. I'll be back. And we're back. Thank you for being patient, chat. All right. Tying this crab fly. Okay. Let's give it a whirl. We still want some tunes. We don't need it as loud, you know what I mean? Okay. So now let's look up a photo. Now I have seen, I think there's some crabs on here, right? No? I thought I had. Okay, so is it folded back on itself? No, right? I see now. You pull it through like that. Okay, okay, I see. So nothing's actually secured. It's just pulled through the flexo tubing. Okay. But from what I see, it's not folded in on itself, right? No. Okay. Roger. Yo, what's going on, Traveler? How you doing, dude? All right. Well, we need a hook that's long enough. I think this one-odd tarpon should work. Let's see. It doesn't necessarily have to be super long, in fact. A lot of the width, the girth, comes from the tubes. We do want to zoom in a little bit. SL12S. We can use an SL12S. I just want to do a test between the two hooks. I need to look at my YouTube. I just want to make sure the vertical is lined up properly. So where do I want it? I guess I want it right on the fucking hook. Okay. We're going to use this medium easy body. Okay. Don't need a ton of it either. You pinch, and then you push together like so, and then you'd pinch. I think we do need a longer shank. Wait, was this the body? No, this is the one we want to use, right? No. What's the... I just had it. Oh, it's this stuff here. That's what it is. We want the stuff without the braiding on it is what we want. I think you can actually remove the braiding on this, if I'm not wrong. I just pulled the whole thing out by accident. But yeah, I think you can remove the braiding on this if you want to do the same thing. I could be wrong. I think you just do that and then it's like that. Or maybe this is a special easy body tubing. This might be the easy body flex or something. Let's look at an SL12S. Two odd, size 2, 1 odd. I think a 1 odd's probably the appropriate size we want. Let's try it. Yeah, that was the wrong tubing, that's why. I'm pretty certain you can pull that out. But I gotta see, does Bill sell this flex tubing, or this flatter tubing? This is it right here. Yeah, Easy Body Flex. This is it. Yeah. Oh, this is called the El Presidente. Oh, no, it's not. It's the EP Descent. I want to call it the El Presidente, because does anyone remember McHale's Navy? Does anyone remember that movie, dude? It's called the EP Descendant, which is cool. But I want to come up with a fly called the El Presidente crab fly, and it's based off McHale's Navy. And the one dude, he dressed up like Fidel Castro, and they went into Cuba or something like that to do something. And one of the dudes from In Living Color, I forgot what his name was, the actor. And he dressed up like Fidel Castro, and they're like, El Presidente. I used to love that movie, dude, when I was a kid. It was not Joanne, Roseanne's husband in the movie. What was that guy's name? What's that guy's name? That was Roseanne, right? Yeah, that was Roseanne's husband in the show. And I think in real life, right? Or something? Well, She Ties Flies is an amazing fly tyer. She probably, I mean, not arguably, she definitely has better video quality than me. I think either like her partner or somebody is like has like a professional videographer or something, but very, very good quality. But yeah, definitely a different style of videos with the ASMR, but very, very high quality fly tying, I will say. So, I mean, we're actually going to get a pretty good 3D profile with this. Maybe something like this. All right. So now here's the deal, right? You just tie the tubing and put this on there. And then you pull the material through. So I'm guessing we want to have some sort of eyes in here, right? For the fly to flip over properly. So let's do that. Yeah, I mean, look, all I do is I keep one camera angle and I zoom in if I need to and just film in 4K. What she's doing all sorts of B-roll shots and like the chalkboard with the materials and stuff. There's a lot that goes involved with that. So shout out to She Ties Flies. Never talked to them or anything, but I've had a lot of people mention their channel. I've checked it out, and it's super, super high quality. So I definitely focus on more like practical fly tying, everyday fly tying, but it's extremely impressive to see people tie flies like that. Like very ultra realistic at times, or very creative flies. All right. Put some dumbbell eyes in there because we need it so the fly turns over. Now, are we still able to go like this? We are. So, I'm guessing maybe we could put some dubbing in here or something so we don't just see white thread. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I am going to put something on the inside. In fact, I mean, I do have some like dubbing brush type stuff we could use. Right? Or I could just use some EP mixes that I've made and just... Yeah, let's do that. We'll just tie some scraggly EP fiber in there to give it some colors and stuff. Through the parts, I find is tying the other claws when you pull it through the other. All right. Well, you couldn't have wrote that in a worse way possible, Doc, but that's autocorrect for you. So I'm going to give you slack. Yeah. You never know. We might do. I would love to get some different angles and stuff going in with my fly time videos to make them more interesting in the future. But and things like that, But I think we got a nice little thing going with my format of fly time videos. I'm happy with it. I could always probably work on my videography and my filming. I think my editing skills are okay. Like the formatting of our video and everything. I don't know, we're just freeballing this fly, chat, so don't, take this as the gospel on how to tie this fly, okay? I didn't look up how to do it. This is how I like doing it as somebody who's been fly tying this long. I don't necessarily always, look up things right away. I like to try and figure it out, and then I can always kind of, if I need to, figure things out, but it's kind of nice to just give it a go sometimes and then learn. Free balling it. Amen, brother. All right. I don't again. I think now we cut this off. Best tool in the game, by the way. Thumbnail. Don't cut your fingernails too short. You do need a thumbnail for fly tying, otherwise you will get super glue underneath the thumbnail and it hurts. 18 bucks a month, I will say it's worth it for every Friday night, some of the jams we listen to on Epidemic Sound. That's the only thing I use it for nowadays. I kind of want to tie some more. I'm just covering up, I want to get some fluffy, kind of brown, crabby looking, crustacean stuff in there. So that's why we're just tying some material in there. I don't know if this might actually end up getting in the way of me tying the fly, but I think I like the El Presidente, aka the EP Descendant that we saw on EasyBody's website, which I'm just going to call the El Presidente. By the way, nobody told me Mikhail Navy's or the Roseanne husband's name, so we're going to look it up. Mikhail's Navy. Shout out, dude. This is such a great movie. What? Oh, this is the old Mikhail's Navy. Mikhail's Navy 97 cast. Tom Arnold is the guy's name. Tom Arnold, dude. And it has... it's got Tim Curry as the bad guy. This is such a good... Oh, it's David Alan Grier. David Alan Grier was El Presidente. They went to Cuba, and David Alan Grier puts on a mustache, and he's wearing the Fidel Castro outfit, and he's walking around, and then he's like, El Presidente! They're all such a good movie, dude. 1997, man. Growing up in the 90s. What a time to be alive. Feels good. Such a good movie. It was all about them illegally selling ice cream and getting in trouble for it, and then they were the misfits of the Navy, and they would just get drunk and go party with hookers and sell ice cream to people around the islands, and then they ended up having to save the world against Tim Curry. It's such a good movie. Watching it now, you probably need enough hookah lounge time to make it enjoyable, but I don't know, maybe it's still a good watch. Sometimes it's best to let movies like that just live in your memories as being good. You know what I mean? I don't know if I should watch Mikhail's Navy again, to be honest with you. I'm going to trim a little bit of this material off on the belly because we want this fly to make sure that it will sink properly. But if you haven't, watch Mikhail's Navy. Good movie. Hey, thank you, Russell. Appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Hey, we're keeping it up. We got a new video coming out tomorrow. And then we have another video that I'm going to be editing this weekend because I have to get some miniatures done for tomorrow's game. But we got a easy body shrimp fly coming out after the murdered minnow, so we're staying busy. Still only streaming on Fridays. I wouldn't mind at some point to start streaming more, but I haven't figured out what I want to do in terms of that. So we really don't need like much of this tubing, huh? I want to jam that EP fiber in there too. Get in your home. Why won't you get in the hole? Whatever Happy Gilmore said. I really don't want it to be too large, so I think I'm honestly just going to... So we need to tie it in the rear. I do need to cut it though. So I'm just going to cut it like here, and we're just going to free ball it. Let's see what happens. Very flexible, I'll say that. We might have cut it too short. I'll just save it for another fly then. We're going to wrap on top here. And we want it back. I should be using clear thread. I'm not too worried about it. We're just learning how to tie this. And to be honest with you, it's so much easier for me to put a ton of pressure down on this thread. I need to get a brown Sharpie. I've been tying so many crab and shrimp flies that a brown Sharpie would be amazing. I'm actually gonna, let's see, can we like push this even more? Oh dude, the tubing's coming apart unfortunately. Okay, so this was a fail. We'll cut more tubing. And we might need to burn the end of it so it doesn't come apart. That was a fail. That was on me. I think we gotta burn the ending on the other side. That was an oopsie. Because this is not held together with, yep, that was on me. Completely forgot about that. By doing this, it'll stop it from coming apart. Take this. We got to tie it as far back as possible, right? Flex like this. We'll cut here, and then I will burn it again. This is important, so it literally doesn't come apart on us like it just did. That's the idea. We'll see if it works. Free balled too hard, reset. Yeah, luckily not a full reset. Yeah, what's going on, mechanic? How you doing? Yeah, we're doing a little flexo action. A little bit of flexo action. I think this side I burned a little bit better. I'm gonna try and fix it because it... So this side I might use... Is this one going to come apart, or is this going to stay together on us? Let me burn this side a little bit more. I'm just using a little lighter to kind of try and mush the plastic together so it doesn't come apart. I think I'm going to, even though this is going to be a little bit hard to get a nice clean cut there, I'm going to, or a nice clean trim. Excuse me. That's the side, I feel like this backside's the one most at risk for coming apart, so. Now this is, maybe we shouldn't have melted this side as much back here. Look, we're free balling it, chat, alright? We're free balling. And I'm free. Free balling. You better watch out, I'll get DMCA striked. Ah! No! It's been a while. Can I get an exclamation mark tink? Now, I don't have Nightbot set up in YouTube, which is probably a good thing, because it honestly just spams the chat every once in a while. But... and the crowd goes wild. Spam! You know, part of me hates AI, but the other part of me wants to make Sora videos with Mike Ross getting arrested by the federales or something. Oh, God. After watching Djibouti do some wrestling stuff, I'm like... But no, I'm going to resist. No, thank you. Okay. Yeah, we don't need it. We almost don't even need it to be that long, so we could cut it like this, maybe. So, like, you need a long enough hook shank to really kind of, you know what I mean? You got to think about the hook shank, because depending on how much pressure you put and where you tie it in. But that looks good. I like that. If I can just, I got to find the right, like, what's the exact sort of size I'm looking to get here? For a crab fly at this size hook, right? Something like this, I think. And I guess we just tie on top and then I'll just cut it. Oh my God. All right. You can tell I'm really using pressure here, but. Go ahead, get another one on there, exclamation mark, Tink. Which, by the way, I still proclaim we've definitely broken the thread more than 300 times. We're up, by the way, if you're interested, YouTube, we're up to 270 of those. Every time I break one, someone can type exclamation mark Tink in the chat on Twitch. And apparently after 7 years of streaming, I've only broken the thread 270 times. Something tells me we've broken it more than that, but I'm just going to guess. So we got to get this lane flat, too. Like, look at this. This ain't looking right. So let's ease off. Let's try that again. Maybe something more like this. I mean, to be honest with you, we really don't even need a lot of pressure. We're kind of already sitting in a nice looking crab shape. So, in fact, let's just go like this then. There you go. Kind of want to pull it though. I don't want it to be as bulbous. I want it to be more flat. Not flat, but a little less. Yeah, I kind of want to tie it here, so I kind of just need to pinch it. It's favoring me wrapping more forward. So maybe, you know what we do? Nah, I don't want to cut it, right? Maybe I'll cut it like this. I'm afraid it's going to come apart, so I really... Ah, yeah, you fool! You fool! See? Okay, that works, though. This is kind of what I was looking for, right? I don't want it to be massive. Alright, we're going to have to tie a couple of these, chat, before we get the hang of them. I'll tell you that much. You kids and your fancy crab flies, why can't you just use a marking? Everybody's got to be fancy with their flex tube and crab flies nowadays. A bunch of buffoons. I should do a drinking game. What, every time I break the thread? Nah, I wouldn't. I gotta drink quicker than that. I guess theoretically, the more you drink, the more you break the thread, right? Okay. I think we kind of did it here. I will say, not necessarily what I'm I want it to be a little bit different shape, but this is okay. We're experimenting. We're testing. I don't know how you would tie this with, I don't think you can tie this with mono thread. I think the thread would break. So, now we can use the chenille. This is gonna be tricky, dude, without an actual bobbin threader, huh? Oh, well, no, I guess you could use something like mono, right? Can't you just fold something like mono in half and pinch it? Oh, yeah, I could totally do something like this. Hold on. I'm actually a genius. Watch this. You ready? You ready for this? Are you ready? Hold on, we gotta do something here. Let me cut this so it's just easier to work with. I'll make my own bobbin threader. Thank you. Trying to flatten this. £100 though? 100 pounds a little much. I wish I had 40 pound. Excuse me. Alright, well, I don't know. Will this work? It's a little... I'm worried I'm gonna, like... I mean, it will work. I think. Yeah, it will work. Sure. Screw it. Alright, I'm not even gonna take the time to cut chenille because I'm not happy with this one. So I'm just gonna stick some rubber... but I'm not gonna waste it. So what I'm gonna do is... I'm gonna stick some rubber legs in here. Let's go with 2 at a time. Sorry, the vise is moving, everything sucks. Okay. So now, we're gonna take this, and we're gonna go like this. I guess. Am I an idiot? Yes, but that's irrelevant. No, I need to pull through, right? Is that what I'm doing? I guess theoretically I can't. No. What am I doing wrong here? It's just hard to get it through there like this. Am I an idiot? Some strong dubbing wire? Yeah. I just push it through, right? Is it because this is moving on me I'm getting an issue, right? Yeah, how am I gonna do this? I need to, like, pinch it and then push it through. I guess the other way is I could do it is I could pull it. So am I just stupid? Should I just come from the other way? This is what happens when you spend too much time in the hookah lounge. Somebody's like, Mike, tie crab fly, but you gotta do this. You gotta pull the legs through. And I'm like, Push the tag ends. Wait. Hold on now. Damn it, Anathasio! What did you do to me? You couldn't have asked for a freaking flat wing? Take the material out first. Push. I am an idiot! Thank you, Doc. You know... I am a freaking idiot. Thank you. See, you kids in your new fancy fly tying. This is why I like a good old... You go down to your grandma's knitting room, All right, and you get some of her old knitting material out, and you make yourself a crab fly the old-fashioned way. All right, with some good old figure-8 ties. None of this nonsense. Yeah, Jerry. What the hell, Jerry? What the hell, Jerry? Why didn't you tell me, huh? Can we switch to Wally Sluggo? I don't even know how that thing's tied. Ben Wally is somewhat mysterious in his fly tying, from what... Didn't you tell me that or somebody? You reached out or something? Oh, wait, what am I doing? I stick it through first. Over here playing mental gymnastics tying a crab fly. Okay, so now, editor, cut that part out. And now we... Okay, so now that I've... First try am sticking the crab legs through, I will show you how to do it. Look at that. And that is how you, first try, stick the crab legs through. Yeah, but this is, you know, it's kind of like the hot new thing on the block, right? If you ain't flex crabbing, you ain't cool. Well, if flex crabbing's cool, then call me Michael Davis. What movie is that from? Obviously, the flex crabbing part might be a little different, but... so we'll stick some of these bad boys off this side. Maybe we'll do one more or something. And then we could do the main legs off the front. We'll make our own. We also need eyes. Eyes will be off this way, because these are small legs. So let's maybe see if we can fit some more. Okay, I see the merit of bobbin threaders. I still refuse to buy one. What I will do is I will go get my stainless steel TIG welding wire, and I'll get some of that, because that'll work great for making my own little rubber leg pusher tool. Yeah. Hey, well, you know, I saw like he had that interesting jerk fly or something, but you know, something I wouldn't be surprised with flies like that if it's just a basic combination of, like we pointed out, the buoyancy type things in with this fly in the tank, and also probably addition of weight somewhere, like how Henry Cowan's flies, because other people have done flies like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a combination of things like that. So, but you know, sometimes. What do you call it? You know, people don't make YouTube videos and this. It's hard to figure out. You kind of have to try and learn how to tie some of these flies yourself. All right, we're gonna put some things on here. Now we do want to like resin this, right? We need to like apply some resin or something from the looks of it to stop it from moving. So I'm just gonna do that right now because we're just learning. We're trying. So no, I can't tell you how to tie Ben Wally Sluggo. What I can tell you is we could probably figure out, or there's other flies and other techniques that we could do to replicate that sort of fly. Like Henry Cowan's. I forgot what's the name of the fly. He has it, he sent me one. But essentially it all has to do with weight and where you're putting weight on the fly, and that weight will give you that side-to-side action. That's what it all comes down to. If you think of a regular lure, God, my voice is already going out. If you think of any sort of lure that swims side to side, where does that side to side movement come from? That comes from weight distribution and action on the lure. But a lot of it comes from where the weight is placed on the lure, and it's more so almost always particularly in the rear, because that weight in the rear and then pulling it in the front causes it to kind of move like that. But again, there's much more involved in it when it comes to getting a fly to replicate that side to side. People have been trying to do that for a long time consistently, and there's different flies that have done it over the years, but doing it easily or whatever. So I'm not certain. Maybe he'll show us one day, you know. But it's probably a combination of weight and where the material is tied. to get that sort of action. We are going to make some eyes. Make some crab eyes. Let's make some crab's eyes. All right. This 100-pound mono works great for this, by the way. I'll turn the music down a little, too. Thread zapper thing, or cauterize, whatever, is is good for putting the bends in the legs, but you got to be careful. Oh, yeah, I have that because it's got those two. Yeah, but I think I have some sort of thin metal I can use. I have some very, very, very thin metal rod for, like, welding I can use. I feel like that'll work just fine. Little trick, we're going to take a Sharpie and just color the end of the eye here. And to make it even larger, we are going to take some UV resin. Ah, I put way too much on there. Emergency. Suck back into the tube. No, it didn't work perfectly, but that's fine. We'll use it. Yeah, Henry Cowan sent me some flies, and he has a pattern that moves that side to side like that. So we're going to tie one and replicate it, and then we're going to go out and fish it. And we're going to, like, do a discussion on, like, adding weight to flies and how it causes flies to move and things. That's another video idea. Oh, I forgot. We need to actually just pull the eye through. This one, you don't need a pusher. I feel like I could just do this and then burn it. If I can actually use my brain for once, which I know is a kind of a big request. Okay, I got resin on my fingers, so that must means maybe I didn't actually cure it properly. What did I do? You fool. I also should have made this lawner, now that I remember that aspect. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. You know, how big can a crab eyes be, you know? How do you like the loon lights? I've always used the Solares ones. This loon light in particular is fantastic. The Mega Lamp is fantastic. Saving. But, other than that, I use everything else Solares, I will say. But... Alright, well, screw it. We're just going to do it like this. Apparently, we could just get it through there. I feel like we should probably just make a new one that's lawner. But, again, I'm stubborn, as you can tell. So, that's fine. They just call them a thread burning tool. You get them on Amazon for €8. Okay. I can make something. We'll figure it out. Not too worried about it. I also don't plan on tying 1 million of these crab flies commercially or anything, so I'm not too worried about it. But it would be nice to have a little tool like that, push tool, for these sort of occasions. So I'm sure I could finagle something. You know me, I'm too cheap to buy a an €8 tool. €8. I mean, that's the... Come on, we might as well... We're going out for steak dinner. It's like $30. No, I'm trying. I don't know what the conversion rate is, but I remember when the euro was at its highest, like, it was almost double what the USD was. I remember getting gas in France with my dad on when we took a trip there, and it was like, how much is a liter of fuel? We were like, oh, how many euros? What's the conversion rate on a euro to USD nowadays? Is it still, like, pretty high? Oh, that's perfect. That looks fine. Oh, what the hell? Did this not even... We put freaking... Did I not even cure this? Oh, I don't know if I ever hit that with the light, now that I think of it. Or maybe not enough resin. We're getting sloppy, folks. Getting sloppy around here. Yep. Alright. I'm gonna try and make my own legs. I don't want to use the good ones. Where? Alright, give me a second. I gotta find what I did with this Estaz. Did we stick it back in here? I might have freaking used all of it. I do have some pink pink stuff I could use. So I'm just gonna grab that and use that because I don't want to make you guys wait half an hour. So let's just use it. Me trying to look for it. So let's just use this. Take this. Go like this. Oh, I guess theoretically we want it. Yeah, we got to do it on both sides, don't we? And just pull it through, right? By the way, if you want to learn how to make your own legs like this, I'm going to show you how to do it right now, all right? See that? You can buy them like this, or you could get micro chenille, it's called. You take it, overhand knot. Okay. Pull it nice and tight. Cut it. Ideally, you would use some tan, which I think we use all of it for tying AC fishing flies. And you burn the ends. We got ourselves a crab claw. Nice and simple. We flip it. Now, what's the length that we want? This is going to be sticking out like this. We can always burn it and cut it. Like so. That might be... It's still a little long, eh? Maybe I can cheat here and do it again. We can bypass. Because I do not feel like having to cut a whole new one and doing it all over again. Gotta make sure I get the knot through, and then it'll be easy. Yeah, that's better. Much better. For $1, you get 8 cents in euro a bit. Okay. So the euro's like slightly higher than the dollar. Used to be pretty bad conversion rate if you were going to the US or going from the US to travel in Europe. All right, I gotta wash my hands real quick because I got UV resin all over it. So give me 1 sec here, chat. All right, let's see if we can finish this fly, shall we? Okay. This is actually gonna be kind of annoying to pull it through. Maybe I should have, before burning it, I should have pulled it through or something. I don't know, whatever. Oopsie. We'll just do it like this. Should be fine. We pulled the other stuff through. You want to come all the way on the left here if you can. Go around all the way on the right. I feel like if I had a slightly longer hook shank, it'd be a little bit easier, but... I mean, it's a crab fly. You don't necessarily want to tie it on too large of a hook shank, right? See, here's the problem. We put this giant knot in here. There we go. All right, first try. Not necessarily super pleased with it, but I mean, it's, you know, you could fish this, no problem. But it doesn't look perfect. Not the way, you know, like I'd be showing off this fly. We got to glue this on. Maybe it would be better to actually stick this. Can we redo that and stick this from below? This fly's getting beaten up, but whatever. This is like a project, like an experiment, science experiment. So it's fine. Come from an angle or something. Having a much thinner tool to pull the material through would definitely make it easier. Let's try it. This is our little project, a little science experiment for the afternoon or for the night. Man, I still need to paint a miniature after this. There we go. That's better, I think. Let's see if we can glue these pieces in place. You still kind of want it high enough up to where it doesn't affect the way it actually swims, right? And you want the legs kind of sticking out. Yeah, we never tied this fly, Jimmy, so somebody asked for it. So I like to just raw dog it. I don't know why I said it like that. But we like to free ball it. And maybe we want to use flex resin, I just realized. But whatever, I'm just going to stick with the medium that I'm using here. I just realized, yeah, maybe flex resin would be good for the flex fly, but who knows. Kind of gone off the deep end a little bit with mixed results, but there's only one way to go up from here, and that's improve with this fly. Perfectly serviceable. You could go fish this. You'd probably catch something if they were eating crabs. Liquid fusion, you say? Really? Okay, we'll tie one more after this, because this one was kind of a it was a valiant effort, but maybe lackluster in execution. Change the title to Raw Dog and Some Crabs. No, that's on my other channel, okay, that I can't show you on YouTube or Twitch, but that's on my what's it called, where they eat a bunch of food. You know what I'm talking about? And they make noises while they, it's like based off that, it's like an Asian cultural thing, but we do it in the US over here. What's the name of that? I forgot what it was called. That one dude, Avocado, Nick Avocado or whatever does it, or was doing it. That fly looks like it got snagged on that hubba rock. What? I have no idea what that means. On your only chunkin channel? Yeah. What's the name? Mukbang. Thank you. Nobody said it in chat, but I remembered. Mukbangs. That's on my mukbang channel if you want to see me raw dog a bunch of crabs wearing a bib. It's called Only Chunkin. Only Chunkin Mike. Yep. Doesn't have Mike in there. It's probably not me. All right. Let's get a close-up look. I mean, you should have been the first person to remember Frosty. You're a mod. It's your job to remember terms like mukbang for the stream. Are you even really a Twitch mod if you don't know mukbangs? Come on, bro. What are we talking about here? Dirty Mike and the Chunkin' Boys, yeah. In the back of a Prius, watch out. Exactly. Boop. Boop. It's just a little crab. Nobody's going anywhere? I mean, yeah, I'd fish it, you know? You never heard of the term Hubba Rock? You never listened to E40? I've listened to E40 before. You're talking about the rapper, right? The dude from, where is he from? Is he from California? From the Bay Area? Is that who I'm thinking of? The guy that raps really fast? I don't remember the term Hubba Rock, though. But if I'm thinking of the right guy, E40, the rapper from the Bay Area, he also raps so fast that I probably... Oh, he's from Oakland. Oh, yeah, he's from Oakland. Yeah, you're right. Not Bay Area. Probably, you know, he's doing 1,000 words a minute, so it might have slipped through. I don't know. Yeah, this is what I retain. I do love me some good 90s hip-hop. Don't get me wrong, okay? And there's some great E40 songs. I think E40 did some great songs with it's not 3-6 Mafia. Who's this? Because 3-6 Mafia was way later. Who's the southern? Oh, UGK. I'm pretty certain E40 did some songs with UGK that are like fire. But he's done all sorts of stuff. Maybe not though. Maybe I'm just tripping. But the stuff that I really retain is El Presidente from McHale's Navy. Okay. It means crack. Gotcha. Well, I haven't, never tried it. Maybe one day, but. Flashabooya tribe? The McFlashabooya tribe? Yeah. He's always saying it. I haven't listened to a ton of E40. I've mostly listened to him being featured on other people's tracks. But clearly not enough if I don't remember him constantly talking about Hubba Rock or whatever you're talking about. The only thing when I think of Hubbas is a skateboarding term, which is which could apply to the same areas where E40's from. Is that California skating where they got those Hubbas coming down instead of like a guardrail, it's like a hubba, like a concrete sort of structure for you to hold on to when you're going downstairs or whatever. All right. Google it? Okay, I'm not Googling it on stream, but I'll do it, sure. All right, let's try and tie one more of these things because my confidence level needs to go up before I shut the stream off. Even though now, come on, chat. Come on. I mean, come on. Huh? I know it's got pink legs, but come on. I mean, look. If I just showed you this, you'd be like, hey, that's not that bad. We don't need to mention about how we got there, right? Like, we don't need to mention about me not actually understanding that if I pull the material through, that's how you do it. I mean, I was trying to shove it through like a moron. If I just show you this, you say, hey, I'll flexo crab. And you're like, yeah, easy. It only took me 2 minutes. Right? So, just think about that. Not too bad. But we're going to try it again, and we're going to try and do it gracefully this time, because that wasn't very graceful. So, we'll try it. I'm going to try, what hook is this? I don't know. We're going to grab this one. This one's larger. This looks like possibly a 2-odd Mustad C70 SD, which is larger, which might work better. We will go ahead and put some lead eyes. I don't think I'm going to use orange ones. I'll use these regular lead ones. Very similar size. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Crabs living on the Jersey Shore, dude. They got it rough. Maybe they've been picked at by seagulls a couple times. They might have stepped on syringes. That is true. That is true. Mm-hmm. That's a Jersey crab. We'll call that the Jersey crab. That's the Jersey crab. Is it? Hey, I'm walking over here. It's like smoking a cigarette. Is that crab smoking a freaking Marlboro? What the hell? A Newport? What the hell is that? A pink ghost crab off the coast of Africa. Obviously, East Africa. Obviously, that's what we were going for. Thank you, Doc. I'm glad somebody saw it. And sorry to the rest of you, chat, but you failed. You failed the test. That was the pink ghost crab from the East African Peninsula off the coast of Mumbai. I'm surprised you didn't catch it sooner. One thinks maybe the eye should be further back, and I think that would be a valid point. Because when you think about it, this could get in the way of us tying that eye. So already off to a bad start, trying to tie the fly gracefully and taking back my position of the eye, but I will stand firm on this choice. Put it more like this. The spray tan legs? Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't want to go too wild with putting stuff in here, but I am going to tie some crap in here. This is EP and bucktail out of my little trash basket that I stick on my vise. We're not going to let anything go to waste. We're going to tie it further forward, though, because I tied it too far back last time. Kind of got in the way a little bit. Because, again, we're not tying anything on here, so I feel like we should have something on the inside just to give it some personality, some flavor, you know what I mean? Give me some crustacean-looking giblets in here. Is that too hard to ask for? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and take another little pinch. And we don't want to get in the way of tying our tubing also, right? So let's just go like this. Okay, just cover up the eyes a little bit. Got to show you the shrimp I tied. Yeah, I posted it in the Discord. We haven't taken a look at the Discord, by the way. We still got to take a look at the Discord before we end the stream. This will probably be the last fly we tie tonight, but it's still going to take a little while, so don't go anywhere. But I do need to... I got to get something done for tomorrow's video I'm filming for the other channel, and I also need to... what do you call it? Get that shrimp video going, so... But again, we're going to be... It could be 30 minutes before we finish this. But we're going to take a look at the Discord. That'll take a little while, too. I want to see what everyone's been up to tying. Just going to use my fingers, because it is completely fine. After fly tying over the years, my fingers are like... probably like some nerve damage in the end of them in terms of how like I jam my fingers into hooks so often it doesn't even hurt anymore, so that's nice at least. Kind of burnt that a little too short, but that's fine. So it's going to be tied somewhere around here, ideally, if I can get my thread all the way back there, which we have a little bit more room this time. And this will be wrapped. We can always wrap it and then cut it, which is what we did last time, would probably be the easiest. Something like that-ish. Give myself a little bit more room. It's never the worst thing in the world. Let's see if we can get this over without it completely falling. I didn't really burn this side, but we don't want to burn it because I don't want it to... This is the issue, right? I should have burnt it, but then it would have been harder to stick over this. So now I'm like, do I just do it again? I think we're all right. It's kind of coming apart, though, so I might need to recut it. Nah, I think we're fine. I guess it depends on the size of the dumbbell eyes that you use, right? Like, all that could play a role in how easy it will be for you to tie. I think we're okay. We'll find out. Yeah, there's the fly tying room on Discord. That's the perfect place to post your flies. And then we got a fishing area if you want to post any photos of fishing, stuff like that. There's an area where you can like ask questions, but really you could do that anywhere, right? But we have certain like rooms that we made for certain things, but just to make it easier to find. That looks pretty good. Okay. I'm much happier with this result this time. Very nice. I gotta find what's the right, like, I can't zoom in too much. I want to zoom in for the horizontal, but I also want to, for the vertical, I want to make sure that it's not zoomed in too much so you can still see it. Okay. We're gonna do the chenille this time. And I'm sticking with the pink legs. Yeah, well, guess what? We're doing the pink ghost African, East African crab, all right? Suck on that. That's right. Round of applause. Okay, it would be much easier with a much thinner thing, but this will work. Everybody relax. Take it easy. We'll be fine. Oh, you rascallion, you. Would you just get in there? Cue the Billy Madison thing where he's like, get in your hole. All right. Okay. Do another one. All right. So now we want to move, like, I want to get further back and get one in there, but it's kind of like so, the tool is too thick. So I'm going to move forward like that. You know what we could probably do? We don't even need the tool. I could probably just weave it through like one or two of the easy body. Okay. We're doing it, chat. That's right, we're doing it. Damn it. Thank you, Jerry. We're doing it. I finally got in the ocean again a week ago in Monterey, Santa Cruz. Caught a bunch of rockfish. Got one lingcod, but it was bare legal, and I threw it back, and everyone limited it out. Oh, wow. Very cool. So you're talking about rockfish, you're talking about like rock bass? Or like those like little bass species like calicos, or... Because you're not from Maryland, so I'm assuming you're not talking about striped bass. So that's the thing. In Maryland and the Chesapeake, they call stripers rockfish. But then... Or are you talking about fish that look like rocks? What's a rockfish in California? It's different on the East Coast. Completely different. We don't even use the term rockfish on, unless it's a certain species called that in New York, for instance. But in places like Maryland, they'll call striped bass rockfish. You didn't get one ling? Is this, you're talking about with what, traditional like bottom fishing, or are you fly fishing, or? Ling are similar to like a kind of like a deeper species, like a cod almost, right? But more a longer, thinner bodied fish, if I'm not wrong. Like a ling cod is what you're talking about. I think they are part of the cod species, but just a different cod, right? Oh my God, we did it. My God, I would hit the sound effect where everybody cheers, but I've hit it like 8 times in the past 3 minutes. So I'm gonna cool down a sec with that one. Don't want a bulbous end on the crab leg, but that's fine. I kind of want to burn it without completely melting it is the idea. But these crabs, they've been spending too much time around the water treatment plant, so they got a little mutation to it. Because everyone's sewage comes out of there. Well, that one's leg got damaged from a seagull. I want to fix that. Cut it just shorter. There you go. That works. We're just gonna burn them. Just gonna burn them. The good old lighter. And we got some crab legs. So you're saying liquid fusion? I'm gonna try liquid fusion on this one. Ling are in the cod family, yeah. Rock cod, but they're not cod. They're a different species of rockfish. Does it look like the thing that's in your profile pic that looks like a fish that looks like a rock? Like a freaking stargazer looking fish or something? Canaries, quail, back dusty rockfish, olive rockfish, you know, pelagic, non-pelagic species you find around rocks. I mean, dude, you can't just say, you know, rockfish you find around rocks. No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, because on the East Coast, we ain't got no goddamn rockfish. We got porgies, we got sea bass, and we got blackfish. So let's take a look at California rockfish. I'm assuming you're talking about those bottom-dwelling fish that look like them. Okay, so these kind of look like snappers or calico bass. They almost look like bass species. By the way, I'm sure the survival rate or the catch and release rate on this fish is really good when you reel it up from 300 feet or something, right? When its swim bladder is sticking out of its mouth and its eyes are. This is what one looks like when you catch it in a depth that doesn't instantly kill it from its swim bladder. But yeah, I got you. Yeah, we don't have fish like this on the East Coast. We have similar species like blackfish or porgies. If I show you tautog. Look at that lovable face. These are what we got for rockfish. Definitely different. Yours are kind of like a mix between snappers and bass, they almost look like. You know, the fish that hang around rocks. Ah, yes, of course. Rockfish. They are a bass species, yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying that one fish is his entire swim bladder was sticking out of its mouth. I mean, fully extended. I know there are ways, but I mean, like, that can't be healthy for that fish. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I mean, even a striped bass. People used to kick striped bass back into the water, and through neoprene boots, the spine would go through and the guy would have to go to the hospital. So a good lesson not to kick a striped bass. Maybe just, you know, release them gently. Yeah, I'm sure, but, you know, just, you know, I'm sure that can't be good for the fish in terms of catch and release ratio. But, you know, whatever. I know they have ways of helping aid that with releasing the fish, but I remember we went snapper fishing in like really, really deep water in Florida, and some of the snappers, their intestines were like coming out of their buttholes, and so like I'm like, oh, I feel bad. He's like, ah, it's fine or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, I'm sure he's not having fun. That snapper. Ow! Ah! Ah! He's like screaming the whole way up if you could hear the fish talking. It's like a horror movie. Is like his intestines are coming out of his mouth and his eyes are bulging. It's like a scene out of like The Fly when Jeff Goldblum turns into a fly. You know what I mean? Or like Total Recall where Arnold Schwarzenegger gets sucked out of the glass when he's hanging out with the mutants, and him and that girl, they get sucked out into like the bare atmosphere in Mars, and their like eyes explode and their everything like that. Cut to fishing game. Ah, they're fine. Don't worry about it. That would be a good meme, actually. The fish is like is absolutely freaking out. That's funny. I don't know how I ended up with 3 tag ends there, but sure. Okay. I really don't know. How did I end up with 3 tag ends there? Is the tag end... Did I catch the end of that and tie it in there? I have no idea. That was like a magic trick. Yeah, we don't have a lot of fish like that on the East Coast. I mean, maybe there might be some, but... not at least anywhere somewhat close inshore. I fished off reefs and stuff like that here. I've never caught a fish like that. We have sea bass. I guess sea bass would be the closest species. I'll show you guys what a sea bass looks like. It's actually very similar now that I think of it. This is what we got. Black sea bass. Beautiful fish. Tastes really good, too. So this is probably, I guess, a very similar species. This is our East Coast species. That's probably the closest relative we have here. But I know they have, like, I think up north they might have, like, orange ones and things. Maybe up in Canada. I don't know. You got sucked through the glove? Oof. Yep. Well, that's what they got those spines for, right? Is for when a striped bass or some other fish species tries to eat them. They're like, not today. And they spit them out. So it's a very good way of protecting yourself for sure. Let's see if we can get these claws sitting beautifully. We shall see. Legs are a little long, but you know what? I don't care. Who cares? We're tying a flex crab fly. Let's get some little legs jingling and jangling, you know? What are the crab police gonna come for me? Say I've been made them too long? I want to pinch this like this. This will help get us a nice kind of more exaggerated. The eyes will be closer together. So that also will make a difference is where we poke it through if we care about how close it is together then. Okay. Burn them up. Light them if you got them, chat. Smoke them if you got them. Going jumbo crab eyes. It might be a little long. I think I want to cut this one. Not perfect, but you know what? It's good enough for government work. That's what I always used to say and piss off my boss at my old mechanic job. All right, good enough for government work. Right as he'd walk by, he'd be like, "What do you mean? You got to do the best you can. You can't do good enough for government work." One of the older guys at the shop taught me that phrase, and that he would get annoyed every time he said it, so it just kind of passed it on to me. Because we loved just annoying the boss. For multiple reasons. And he deserved it. He deserved it. I would specifically say, yep, put the wheel back on a car after doing a brake job. Yep, good enough for government work. Of course, obviously, I did the best job I could. Beautiful. You know, never an issue. Never had wheels fall off. The brakes worked perfectly fine every time. But it's just funny. Knowing the guy, the owner of the shop would walk by. Yeah, good enough for government work. And he would just piss him off every time. It was all right. He was stealing money from everybody. He wasn't paying his employees. He was like lying about how many hours we were billing out as mechanics. So they ended up taking him to court and like suing him. A bunch of my coworkers, they were trying to get me to go. But I was like, I'm not. I ain't got time for that. Should have done it. Probably would have got a bunch of money, but I make poor decisions. I ended up tying flies for a living, so you know that. Come on. We don't make good decisions around here. Oh, we're not using resin, by the way, so I'll put my cap back on and let's grab some liquid fusion, shall we? Man, we have 100 different types of rockfish. Yeah, I know. You guys got a ton over there. You definitely do. And you know what? Screw it. We're going to use liquid fusion on the eyes. Because I didn't use resin, right? No. Liquid fusion is non-toxic, really easy to clean up. I don't care if I get it on my fingers either. It's great to work with. Compared to UV resin, this stuff is impossible to wash off your hands. It's toxic. Not always fun to work with. I will say I'm becoming more and more of a fan of liquid fusion the more I use it. In terms of just practical, not obviously as durable as UV resin in the same regard, or as strong in certain applications, but in other applications, so I think it's better for certain things. For the level of convenience and lack of changing how the fly swims or looks, and for the amount of adhesion you get, I think it's a great alternative to a lot of things. Downside is we can't kind of hit it with a light and keep it where we, you know, keep these things where we like it. So we just kind of have to let it dry naturally is all. And that's fine too. See if maybe we can bend these to get them separated a little bit more. It's water soluble, yeah. I mean, I guess theoretically, don't crabs have 8 legs and then 2 pinchers? So we should have had another set of legs, but I mean, whatever, dude. It's fine. All right. I think the claws might have been a little long, but that's fine. Cool. All right. I think I've gotten a better. I think the second one was much easier. I understand how to tie it now. I probably need to get the right materials and stuff, but we may cover this fly at some point. I think there's already some. Hit it with the lighter. Give the claws an elbow. Ah, let's try it. All right. Let's see. You're just saying like this. Okay, I see, I see. Kind of give them a little bend to it, if you will. Interesting. I don't want to damage it, but yeah. Let's see if we can replicate or do a better job. Okay, like that. I see, I see. There you go, that's good. Real crabs wear pink, hell yeah. Oh. God damn it. Who the hell? We have the crab fly police on YouTube in the chat. We got a report of a disproportionate amount of crabs. First, chat, is it illegal to be intoxicated while you tie crab flies? No, officer. Or no problem. What seems to be the officer here? Mm-hmm. Exactly. No, everything's fine here. There's another set of legs. You just can't see it. What we do is we invisible crab legs. Mm-hmm. You can bend them to shape to be careful, though. Okay. I'm not even joking, chat. There's crab fly police on YouTube, and it's a crab wearing a police outfit for the profile picture. You can't make it up. I summoned them into existence. Shout out to the crab fly police. Round of applause, everybody. Maybe if we applaud enough, we won't get a ticket. I don't know. I don't know. One can only hypothesize. Shout out to the crab fly police. Round of applause. It's not an easy job. Somebody's got to do it. Protect and serve the people. Fine pending. All right, send it. I'll give you Doc's address. Send it there. Okay. He's the one who told me how to tie the whole fly. All right, let me know when to come in. I'll serve my sentence peacefully. He didn't tie a Jimmy, but a Jenny. Well, wait a minute. Have we validated the number of legs on a pink ghost crab from the Southeast African coast? Have we verified that crabs have to have 8 legs to be a crab? Or are there crab species that have less than 8 legs? I'm going to AI. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Aha! I see. I see. So now I've had my day in court. Judge, I would like to present my findings. Here we have multiple crab species with different numbers of legs. As you can see, we have the great Alaskan king crab with 4 legs and pinchers. But alas, I will show to you the strongest evidence of all. And this may be shocking. The 3-legged crab! Also, Alaskan king crab. So whatever this was, I don't know. Red king crab. You get the idea. Now, this is kind of what we're imitating, to be honest with you. So we kind of need these little donkey legs in the back, the rudders, the rudder legs. That's kind of... They can have 10 legs. 2 legs are big, 8 legs are small. Yeah, but those are pinchers. Like, are we going to count these as legs? Come on, what is this person even talking about? Oh, is this like a haiku? The animal has a big shell. What is it? It's a crab. Crabs live in the ocean and on the beach. Crabs are different colors. They can be white, black, red, orange, or brown. They have 10 legs, 2 legs, and are big, 8, and cannot eat. 8 legs are small. They can swim and fly, but they can swim and run, but cannot fly. What the hell is this even from? What is this nonsense I'm reading? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've made my point. Crabs can have legs. Thank you, thank you. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let us go to the true risque content of the night. And let's take a look at the Discord. Let me pull this up. Let me mute this. Okay, we're back. That's somebody's PowerPoint. Yeah, that's their college. That's their college. What's the name of the? Because I never did one. What's the name of the your thesis for the end of the class or something for your master's degree on crab or crab things? Well, these look great. Shout out to Paul B. Just joined the Discord too. We got a couple folks. Clint too. Shout out. Welcome, welcome. These look fantastic. Game changers, huh? I like it. We got a dragon tail-ish looking, or a dragon tail, or some sort of chenille tail. I can't even speak. We got to end the stream soon. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm getting delusional. We got some nice hackle. I like the wide hackle at the rear. We got some rubber legs and stuff. Looking good. And I must say, I like the photo on the hackle. It's nice. I like it. I think we caught up with most of this stuff. What's going on? My phone's... What sort of nonsense we got going on here, huh? Ah, we got Zeke. Oh, he wanted to show something off. I guess Zeke. Let's do it real quick. Here. I don't think Zeke has Discord, but Zeke is awesome dude. Out on the island here, just taking me fishing a couple times. Buddy of Henry Cowan's, that's how we got in touch. And a couple crab flies. He did his own experimenting. I like it. Now, is this an EP body? Some sort of felt. Very nice. I like the tied legs on there. Very cool. Looks good, Zeke. Round of applause. I'm like, who the hell's texting me? Zeke's like, oh, I got to text Mike some photos so he can show it off on the stream. Yeah, bamboozled, man. You know, he just takes, professional level photos, by the way. Beautiful. You could tell we're kind of a, you could tell we're community of people who fish on the East Coast or places where it's not warm, because nobody's been posting any fishing photos since December. Oh, damn, we got all sorts of cool shit. Let's take a look. I think this was the last tie we saw. Backfins EP. Oh, it's the EP crab bodies. Very nice. Yeah, if you could get the right material, you could cut your own shapes too, you know, which is interesting. But you getting ready for your, what do you call it? Your bonefish trip? I've done a few for a guy heading to Zacal, or is that somewhere in like Mexico or somewhere? Because anytime you put an X in with a C or something, I don't know how to pronounce that, but hopefully they slay. Okay, very cool, very cool. I've started tying some flatwings now, and I'm hopelessly addicted. Well, the action is amazing. Throw some flatwing tails in your GT flies, and I think the GTs aren't going to argue at all. They might destroy them, but, you know, who cares? The movement's fantastic. And even if, you know, that's fine. But this looks good. This looks great, David. Super chunky, kinky muddler. Doc's been tying some flies. What was the name of this book? Somebody asked, and you mentioned it. Arthur McDonald's Modern and Ancient Locks. So if you don't know, these are like a sort of like, I guess you could call it dry fly, but it's a sort of flies a style of flies that they call locks, right? Like a lock fly that they fish in like lakes and like these lakes that form in the locks in like Scotland and Ireland. Is this what I'm thinking of? From Paul Young's fly fishing in Scotland. This is where I've seen this sort of stuff, and you just cast it and it just kind of floats on the surface of a lake or like a reservoir during a hatch, and the trout eat it. I could be wrong. Doc can let me know. But this kind of looks like a mix between like older style wet flies as well as a mix between dry flies, right? You know what I'm talking about with those like wet hackle flies? It kind of looks like a wet hackle fly, but I think it is supposed to sit on the surface, is it not? So it's a very interesting style of fly. The guy's Scottish, yeah. So it's, you know, like the Loch Ness Monster. There's that's just the name of a body of water, right? A certain style of body of water. And I think this sort of fly is used in that manner. It's like a dry fly, if you will. But it's not fished in moving water or something. It's fished on a lock. If you haven't, even though they had it all on YouTube, it was so nice. And then I think it got taken down. But fly fishing in Scotland with Paul Young or something. Fishing in Scotland with Paul Young. It's probably in my opinion. And I hate to say this because I love Jose Wejebe's Spanish Fly. Of course, shout out one of the greatest fly fishing shows of all time, Flip Pallets, Walker K Chronicles. I will say, I think Paul Young was the best. He had the best fly fishing show or fishing show in the world. My favorite fishing show of all time. Scottish fellow, Paul Young. I think he's still alive, too. He's still around. I would love to meet him one day. I've never met him, but I'm sure he wouldn't be the first guy to come up and geek over about how awesome his show was. But these look fantastic. I like it. You're taking the flatwings and doing your thing with them. They're looking really good. Some poachers. When you kept typing like the poachers killed it the other day, I thought you meant people were actually poaching flies. The fly in particular, more of a fly attractor or a fry attractor pattern. Interesting. Like bait fish fry it's attracting? Huh. Anyways, interesting book. Check it out if you want. We got Solo here, which I'm not familiar, so you must be pretty new. Unless you change your name, but look at that. Funky looking psychedelic nymph. Okay, I can tell you're pretty proud with your body braid wrapping skills, huh? Because it looks pretty cool. I like the photos you took. All the colors. Looks like a piece of candy, like Christmas candy. Oh, that's you, Jimmy? Okay, gotcha. I feel like you changed your name or something. Maybe just in post. Sockeye shrimp. Wow, look at that. I mean, that thing's freaking massive, dude. That's crazy. That's awesome. I like it. Very nice. Okay. A sculpin. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Whoa. So how'd you get that marbling effect on the jig heads? It would represent the fry. Ah, okay. I thought it was attracting the bait fish to the fly and then the trout would come and eat it or something. How did you get that marbling effect on there? Did you like freaking, what did you hydro dip it? They were eyeball stickers, then I glued them on and I did a clear coat. What do you mean? This color was a sticker? Is that what you did? And you folded it over itself? Is what you're saying? Because these 3D eyes are separate. These are Predator 3D eyes. You stuck those on top after, right? Or is the 3D eye attached to this sticker material? Yeah, the colors on the heads. That's the way the paint works when you do one coat and then you do another one. Oh, so you're just essentially spraying a coat super wet and heavy and then you're spraying another one and it crackles on itself or something? Is that what you're doing there? Very nice. Looking good. Looking good. All right. Very cool. Very nice. Shout out to everyone that shout out to everyone sharing some what do you call it? Some of their flies on the Discord. It's always appreciated that we get to look and see what everyone's been tying. And it's always a fun time. And thank you so much, chat, for hanging out. 2 hours and 50 minutes, not 3 hours, but it's close. All right. I don't want to hear it, Keith. All right. I still got. It's funny if I don't respond to a comment. It's like right when I open my YouTube studio, it's there. There's one where it's still that same comment. But thank you, chat, for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you folks have an awesome weekend. We're going to be tying more flies on Friday night. Tomorrow, there's a brand new fly tying video coming out at 12 o'clock. The Murdich minnow. And then we have the easy body shrimp fly I need to edit, so I'm going to be doing that. I still need to, what do you call it? I still need to paint this freaking mini tonight so I can get this battle report filmed tomorrow with Rev. And I got to edit this easy body shrimp video. So I'm going to try and do that this weekend probably. And that'll probably come out on Sunday for members if I'm get it done in time. And then Monday it'll come out for everybody else. So I usually just put it out a day early for members is all as a thank you. So the dabber fly is a very versatile wet fly that represents various aquatic food items. Trout, salmon feed on depending on specific color variations. Very popular loch or lake fishing in Ireland. Gotcha. Very cool. What do you think about that braided flash? I've been tying these lightning bugs and the lightning midge. And what did you think about the braided flash? Looks great, dude. Yeah. Looks good. Fantastic. Keep it up. Those flies look great. Thank you for sharing with us. Very cool. Very cool. All right, chat. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out. Yep. Aloha, friends. Traveler. Have some great streams if you're going to be streaming. If folks haven't, check out Traveler Flies on YouTube. He's been streaming some fly tying. Some round of applause. But thank you, everybody. Give yourself a round of applause. Mall Dropper. Thanks for hanging out, brother. Appreciate it. Shout out to the Crab Police, too. I don't know who they are, but, you know, legends. Paul, thanks for hanging out and watching. Doc, Jimmy, everybody, thank you so much. Frosty as well, Zeke. But thank you so much, chat. And, yeah, we will see you guys next Friday for another stream. And we have more videos coming out tomorrow as well as later this week. So, yep. Round of applause for the crab police, keeping the streets safe, making sure you got the right amount of legs on flies. Somewhere in between 6 to 8. Anyways, chat, we'll see ya. You take it easy. Have an awesome night. We'll see you.